What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're reacting to the 10 most brutal Marvel and DC deaths. Now, I'm not that big into DC and Marvel, so I really have no idea just how gory it can get. Hopefully, for me, in the sake of this video, it's not that gory, but I guess we're gonna find out. So with that being said, let's get right on into it.
Rorschach. Alan Moore's Watchman is one of the most beloved superhero stories to ever be told, and part of this can be attributed to his use of some of the best executed deaths to appear in comics. The death that makes it onto the list is Rorschach's when he meets his end from his once ally Dr. Manhattan. After uncovering a secret plan to unite the US and Soviet Union, orchestrated by another former teammate, Rorschach feels compelled to bring the plan to the public. Unfortunately, Dr. Manhattan disagrees quite a bit. The two confront each other, and after accepting his fate, Rorschach is instantly terminated by the mind of the much more powerful Dr. Manhattan, leaving only a spot of blood where he once stood. This wasn't a violent struggle of a fight, but watching one of the main characters in the movie get simply evaporated was definitely one of the most intense scenes in comic books. Number 9.
No. Hold on. What did he do? He just looked at him. He just looked at him and he said, What? No, wait, hold on. Go back to 42. 42 seconds at 3, 2, 1. Hold on. What happens right here? Let's analyze this. He kind of smiled. Oh, he just waved his hand. That's all it took. All it took was a little, and boom! What? Man, I wish. If all you gotta do is this, I'm not associated with you. You can be mad at me, and I'm dead. No, sir. No. Pick your friends wisely, kids. Let's be a lesson, okay? Because if you make friends with a big blue guy, which I think he has a large penis. I hear that he had a large penis. I don't know where, but I just remember that being a joke or something. Blue guy's a large penis. I don't know, but you're gone. Rest in peace.
Number 9, Bart Allen. For all the talk the rogues get for not being overly serious villains, this was a pretty sinister thing to do. Bart Allen, one of the lesser remembered incarnations of the Flash and ex-Teen Titan member, met his unconventional end at the hands of the
He was a Teen Titan member?
Group. After inertia left Bart without his powers, the rogue members felt threatened that he would soon get them back, so they did whatever they could to take him down for good. This didn't consist of what people would typically assume is needed to kill a superhero like guns or lasers, but rather the group standing around our hero took turns kicking him over and over and over. This must not have only been incredibly painful due to blunt trauma, but also almost embarrassing to have such extraordinary powers, but to be killed in a bland way.
Wow.
Number 8,
that's terrible. He got kicked to death.
Okay, so even though this took place in the Ultimatum, which is widely hated, and even though the Wasp was technically already dead when the gross part happened, it doesn't take away from the fact that this was extremely vile. After dying from drowning, her lifeless body is picked up by the Blob, who does the unthinkable. Grasping the body like a piece of meat, the villain begins to chew on the Wasp's corpse.
Oh my gosh!
The artwork of this death is so virtually unpleasing that you can see the bones, blood, and more spewed from the body, they don't hold back, do they? Stuffs his face with more and more. Later, he even remarks that she tastes like a chicken. Karma is done to him, however, when Hank Pym, as the giant man, chops the villain's head right off for revenge and punishment for what he did to his partner.
Oh my gosh.
Number 7,
they really don't hold back.
Marvel's 2008-2009 series called Dark Reign focused on a time when Norman Osborn had a considerable growth in his power over the Marvel Universe. This allowed him to send underlines to kill those he considered unfavorable, with his list of targets including Frank Castle. After several attempts at his life, Osborn finds success Daken, Wolverine's son, after the Punisher. The two have a pretty back and forth fight on a rooftop where both take serious injuries, but Castle just couldn't stand up to Daken's power. The battle ultimately results in the death of the Punisher after he is completely mutilated by his enemy, with his arm being chopped off and the rest of his body getting sliced by claws.
The Punisher dies? Yo, I got so many questions about this. There's so many different timelines and stuff. The Punisher dies? I thought he was supposed to punish people.
Afterwards, his body is actually mailed to Dwarf Star, who is revealed to be the one who hired the Titans in the first place. His death was by Deathstroke's sword being pummeled through his body, which we see the bloody results of. This death caused a lot of controversy because Ryan Choi was one of the only Asian American heroes who was killed off in less than an honorable way. Fans and readers complained that his death was merely written to show how strong and badass Deathstroke was, something that every fan already knew. However, as with many comics and characters, they are brought back to life in one way or another, or rewritten back into the universe. Although Ryan Choi's death isn't the worst on the list, it sure was very messy both on and off the comic book pages.
I'd imagine.
Number 5, Aerys. Norman Osborn is back at it again, continuing his onslaught of the Marvel Universe's heroes. In a 2010 miniseries, Osborn's government-sanctioned Hammer team was taking steps towards global domination.
Is this like a dark version of the Avengers?
Taking out those who oppose him. One of his allies that helped to try and achieve this was Sentry, and easily manipulated the strong superhuman to take Asgard. During the siege, the Olympian hero, Aerys, tries to defend the Norse world from the invaders, but obviously didn't quite meet his goal. After a bit of fighting between Sentry and Aerys, the unthinkable was performed. To everyone's surprise, Sentry grabbed his opponent and ripped him open from the middle, leaving him in two halves with his inside body parts everywhere. For being such a mainstream comic and part of the Marvel comic universe, it was simply incredible for readers to witness such a violent act. Number 4, the Hulk. The Old Man Logan story arc is definitely one of the more gory ones, as it begins with Hulk's grandchildren brutally murdering Wolverine's entire family. Because of this, the anti-hero with claws completely snaps and only seeks out vengeance. Methodically,
the Hulk's children killed him like
Hulk's
that?
relatives and begins to kill each and every one of them, making sure that their deaths are as
those
painful
are all
as
the
possible.
Hulk's children?
Finally, he's able to kill all of them but one, Hulk himself. The two have an intense and violent battle, but then Hulk does what readers least expect. He swallows Wolverine whole. Thinking he's victorious, Hulk is seemingly satisfied with his victory, except for the fact that Logan has regenerative, healing powers. While inside his stomach, Wolverine heals and rips the giant monster from the inside. Seeing it on page definitely makes for one of the more gross and memorable deaths. Number 3, Spider-Man.
I'm lost.
It was definitely bizarre to watch one of the most kid-friendly superheroes get murdered in such a gruesome way. But I guess that's what happens when Deadpool is around.
Spidey dies?
Although still excessively violent, Deadpool at least leaves the heroes of his universe to live in relative peace. But in the storyline, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
I remember one of my friends telling me about
this.
this.
He hears a voice in his head convincing him to kill, well, everyone. This consists of quite a few heroes, including the Avengers. But Spider-Man's end is probably the most memorable and violent. Readers are greeted by a panel of the Merc with the mouth putting a bullet right through Spidey's skull, taking quite a large chunk with it. While this is the type of thing fans would expect from Deadpool, the kid-friendly web-slinger felt really out of place for such a violent conflict to take place, especially with him on the receiving end. Number 2, Jason Todd.
What?
Even though Jason Todd was one of the
Spider-Man
less popular altercations of Robin, he surely did not deserve such a gruesome and painful death. The fault is among the fans though, because there was a nationwide phone survey to determine the second Robin's fate. When the Boy Wonder was finally reunited with his biological mother after searching desperately, their lives were stripped away by the one and only Clown Prince. The Joker found the mother and son in a warehouse, where he then picked up a crowbar and began to beat Jason Todd to a pulp. The Joker would continue on for quite some time, all while Todd's mother was still nearby. And that wasn't even enough for the clown. He left the two in a warehouse with a ticking time bomb that was inevitably going to explode. Him being in so much pain in front of his mother, and also feeling the betrayal of utter disappointment in Batman's abilities, Jason Todd's death was definitely one the readers will never forget.
Goodness.
And number 1, Stephanie
I feel
Brown.
bad. He was going to see his mom
Brown was a heroine known as Spoiler, and was actually the first and only female Robin, which only lasted a few issues before she was brutally murdered. In the pages where this occurred, we see her continuously being tortured with a power drill, all while being forced into sexualizing positions. The villain who did this talked about how she couldn't keep up with the boys. Seeing this take place not only was stomach turning, but it also caused uproar amongst fans.
I'd imagine.
Even though she manages to escape, she is shot and kicked down a flight of stairs to her death. Fans were in shock that the writers would do such a thing to a female character, and to add on that, the main characters in the story seem to have little to no emotional effect from her death. Because of the controversy, DC eventually rewrote it so the death was fake, but we all know what happened, and DC just wants to make fans content. And that is it for the video, guys.
Okay, DC does not hold back. I did not realize that DC does not hold... Boy. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video, or my reaction to it rather, by dropping a like on it. Subscribe if you're new here. Join the family. We're growing every day, and I really appreciate it, guys. There's that little red button. If you take a second to press it, it would mean the world to me. And as always, stay strong and love yourselves, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.